couple of weeks ago, I watched a video on here where an artist shared how going viral almost ruined her life or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure. And boy oh boy, could I relate. My first encounter with going viral was when I collaborated with an artist that I was acquainted with at the time. I reached out and we created this piece together, and it was fun and it was exciting, and I decided to make a reel out of it because that was a major form of sharing whatever it is that I created, and still is to this day. But I digress. I made this silly video, put it on Instagram, and I went about my day. And then the numbers started to roll in. Now, before this, I would often get views around maybe 200, 300, 500, 1,000 if I was lucky, 10k I think once. So when the numbers started to climb and it was like 20k, 30k, 100, 200, I was like, oh wow, okay. And it started to get higher and higher and higher. I remember feeling excited and I finally getting this big sigh of feeling this big relief, like, oh, finally my work is finally gaining traction. It was such a big inspiration and was such a big thumbs up in a way that I was doing everything right and I could proceed and I could pursue what I was passionate about. Until his comments rolled in. I'm putting this out there because I think as creatives we often oscillate between two realities. One where we are either small and insignificant and we just create for ourselves, for a cute little family member or someone, a friend who wants to surprise their significant other or somebody that they care about, and they come to us and they're like, oh, can you please draw XYZ? And I'm like, oh sure, wait, no problem. We either stay small, we just create for the fun of it, or we do get seen, we do get appreciated, we do get commissioned for big projects, but we face whatever it is that comes with this new opportunity or this new privilege. And that is something I want to sort of digress into this video. I got my first hate comment and it was weird for me. I'm a peaceful person to the best of my abilities. I genuinely do not know how to fight. I don't like to fight. I don't know how to fight, and I don't want to learn how to fight. There are people out there who love that kind of life, who enjoy it, get a little surgery of hormones that make them feel good from fighting and being competition with others. I am not that type of girl. So when I got this comment, I didn't quite know how to feel. But I was a media manager and I understood the power of engagement on a video. So I was like, you know what? I need to have my account blow up so that I can quit my job and do this full time. So go ahead and have fun, I guess. And then the next one came and the next one came, and it was just a plethora of comments saying things that didn't quite make sense to me. Some of them were criticizing the art style, like, oh, why is the character floating in the piece, and why does the bed look like that, and what is going on? And I'm like, huh? It felt like they were baseless accusation and they were just looking for something to hear. Now, I'm not going to come here and say that I was a pro or I am a pro. I'm still an intermediate artist, not entirely a beginner, but I'm also not an advanced artist. So I'm not going to come here and say, oh, I created this masterpiece and people were just hating. There were some elements of truth, like, oh, do this and do that. And I'm like, you know what? Sure, but some of them were just artistic or stylistic preferences, and there was no need to hate on that, in my honest opinion. But anyways, to each their own, or not, because I genuinely feel like, and I'm going to digress for a second, I think on the internet we have allowed cyberbullying to go on for too long. As a society, on the internet we have condoned cyberbullying. There's no direct consequences for bullying anybody. You can bully somebody into depression, you can bully somebody into quitting living, and nobody would arrest you for it. Nobody would gun you, nobody would find you and destroy your life because of what you just said or did to this person, and it's absolutely fine. And I think that is so weird to me. I'm not entirely sure, but that whole experience, it messed me up. It messed me up in a way that I wasn't sort of prepared and ready for. And I feel like that was one of the things that the artist was mentioning, or was what she went over in her own video, talking about how going viral comes with its own responsibilities, it comes with its own weight, and you have to be ready to bear that. But I also feel like there's a bit of flaw in that statement, not from a point of hateful criticism, but I think nobody exactly knows when you are going to sort of gain success or you're going to be seen. So how can you be prepared for something? You're not exactly sure when it is coming. And I also feel like you can never be ready, because I was aware going into art, going to content creation, I know people would hate you. I've had my fair share of hate growing up, so I know that life can be crazy, but nothing is going to prepare you, my honest opinion, for the hate that will come, for the weird comments, and just, it's absolutely weird to me. It's just weird to me, and I feel like nothing could prepare you, because you're you and you're going about your business and somebody just comes with pure rage and pure hate towards you, and it's like, yeah, it has nothing to do with me, but having that such a strong emotion in your face can destabilize you. If your content has gone viral in the past and you have experienced a ton of hate and you have brushed it off, and you're like, oh, I'm stronger than you guys, you can't break me, do let us know in the comment section some of the things that you've done to get you that armor, because I would love to hear. Moving on to the next point, which is what she struggled with the most, which was quote unquote being a circus monkey for the algorithm, which inspires today's piece. There's also the point where you have to consider the algorithm and how it can turn you into something that you are not. I'd say I'm definitely 100% guilty of this. I have created content here on YouTube and I've seen that, oh, okay, this works, and I've tried to replicate that and do that because, I mean, it's logical. You're trying to make a living from this and you find that this works, so why would you abandon what works and then go after what doesn't work? But I think that is me, and also anybody who this has happened to, forgetting that art is never really for the people, it's for yourself. And the point where you are appreciated is people just appreciating you for being yourself. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense in my head. But regarding being a puppet for the algorithm, I feel like this one is particularly hard. But one thing that I like to sort of do is remind myself why I am doing this in the first place. And I'm going to digress a little, bear with me. But the point of this entire channel, and I like to sort of put this in almost every video, or at least say it as many times as I can, is that my channel is basically art and chai, like a sip and paint, but make it digital. So it's like art and chai, but make it digital if you love tea, because I recently stumbled upon tea, and it's weird because growing up, I grew up in a house where tea was had, but it wasn't something that I fancied. It was the kind of thing that everybody enjoyed around here. Like, I don't know why you guys are obsessed, but I never want to understand why you're obsessed. But now I understand people are obsessed, and I like that side of life. Also, shout out to my best friend because she sort of introduced me to tea that wasn't black tea. Ever since I've come across tea that isn't black tea, I'm like, give me that right now. So if you're a tea lover and you also love to paint, this channel is for you, because I like my good cup of tea and I like a good conversation, and that is basically what this channel is supposed to be about, but a digital version of it. But that's the end of my digression. Back to the topic at hand. One thing that I like to do personally, I like to remind myself of why I'm doing what I'm doing in the first place, and just try to stick to the plot to the best of my abilities while trying to weave what works with what I am doing. For example, I noticed that YouTube only appreciates the content that has to do with art. So I know, okay, if I'm going to put anything out there, it has to have art or something of the sort in either the title or the thumbnail. But that's just my own 2 cents regarding being a puppet for the algorithm and dealing with the hate that comes with being seen. Can get sad, but I don't want to go about life in a way where I am either in my room locked up, not wanting anybody to see me or what I am creating, no matter how goofy it looks. I don't want to live a life where I'm bottled up and I don't allow myself to live because of somebody else's insecurities and what somebody else will think and how their day is going and how that doesn't align with my own day and my own life. And I understand that being seen will come with its own responsibilities. I just hope I'm able to show up for myself, because I think that's what matters the most, to be able to show up and to be able to pour into myself so that I can pour into my community later on. For the first 2 years of me creating content on YouTube, it has been more of, I feel like a puppet show, really. I have the subscribers and I'm grateful for that. But I've reached a point in my life where I want to have more meaningful connections rather than just numbers up in my face. So if you like art, even if you don't paint yourself, but you enjoy the whole process and you like deep conversations about stuff, because I do post things that's not all about art. Every single thing I put on here is not only about art and how the art community is affected by XYZ and 1, 2, 3 and what we're doing about it as artists. But when we're not artists, we're people, and I'm hoping to have conversations with other people who, at the end of the day, when they go home and when they put their brushes away and their iPads away and their stylus pen away, you are just, at the end of the day, I don't know, a person. So this channel is for people like that. If this resonates with you in any way, subscribe. Okay, bye.